So well friends, today we are to discuss about the usage of statistics in education and psychology. If you remember the earlier class, certainly you will come to know that in that class we discuss about the definitions of statistics. Friends, in every part of our life, in all steps, there is the necessity of the use of statistics. And here in the field of education and psychology, why statistics is very much important and why we are to depend on, or why we are to use statistics, we are to discuss today. Let us see, friends, knowledge of statistics, as you know so much well, is required, means it is necessary in almost all fields of study these days. Means in nowadays, in the changing world scenario, you see in modern world, in every part of life, there is the necessity of the use of statistics. But why? Statistical techniques are extensively used in physical and natural sciences and applied sciences. Participant friends, not only in the field of education and psychology, we are to depend on statistics for the evaluation of various activities, but also in all fields, particularly in the field of physical and natural sciences, as well as in the field of applied sciences. At the same time, even in the field of social sciences like education and positive science like psychology, there is the necessity of the use of statistics for the evaluation of various aspects, for the proper calculation, for the explanations of various issues in scientific way. And if you see the diagram, what we do with the help of the means and measures of the with the help of the use of the measures of statistics, we basically study sample and we say about the population. Sample, for your understanding, sample means, or sample is the small part and population is the whole. Population means the total and sample is the small part. And what we do basically, we study the small part sample and speak about the population means the whole. As for example, you are going to market to purchase 10 kilograms of rice, and for doing so, if you are to test the quality of rice which you are to purchase, you need to test the quality of the huge bag. Simply you take a little bit which is known as sample, and if you taste the small quantity, small part, and by testing the small part you can know the quality of the bag full of rice, means the total, means the population. Let us see the next one. Like physics, chemistry, means applied science, physical science, natural science and social science, we have mentioned already. In all fields there is the use of statistics. Physics, chemistry, biology, geology and anthropology, and in medical and engineering subjects, as well as in social sciences like sociology, economics, education and psychology, etc. In all fields there is the use of statistics, and without statistics no decision can be taken in proper way, in scientific way, in research based way. Friends, you see, these are the various branches of science. As for example, nanoscience, now this is very much important. Environmental science, you know so much well, means in the family of applied science, these are some of the branches which are inclusive: nanoscience, environmental science, then materials science, as well as biotechnology. These are some of the new branches of applied sciences in the field of which we, above all in the field of education and psychology, there is the use of statistics or statistical measures for the determination of various aspects and various angles. Let us see the next slide. In the task of national programming, as for example, friends, statistics helps in planning proper decisions with regard to capital formulation, distribution of income, consumption, population assessment, etc. So if it is asked in your examination, what we can, or you see, in which field statistics is used, or you mentions the names of some of the fields where statistics is used, and what are the activities of statistics or statistical measures in national programming, in planning, in proper decision making process, in regard to capital formulation, decision concerning to capital formulation, decision concerning to distribution of income of a nation, then for decision at the time to take decision concerning to the consumption of materials by the citizens or by the customers, as well as for the assessment of population, we are bound to depend on statistics. All works are accomplished on the basis of data, means on the basis of data, and data, whenever you are to define it, it is a piece of information concerning to something or concerning to a spatial area. Now this is the, you see, diagram which has manifested us where every time in all parts of our day-to-day life we have to depend on the data, you see, for the solution of various problems of our life. Data basically means, very simply in statistical terminology, the piece of information concerning to a particular area, concerning to a particular subject, concerning to a particular, you see, specification. Let us see the next one. In insurance companies, as for example, friends, let us come back. Premium rates are calculated on the basis of probable deaths. And even in banking system also, you see, calculations are made. Calculation means rate of interest are being determined by studying the economic condition of a nation. And in case of, you see, insurance companies, rates are calculated on the basis of probable deaths. How many people will die? You see, they will, means the insurance company persons will calculate the, you see, rates of premium by assessing the numbers of deaths, and for doing so they have to depend on statistics. Life expectancy is also being considered at the time of calculating the rates of premium by the people of insurance companies. For educationists, what happens? Why statistics is very much important in the field of education? This is important for educationists. Statistics is useful in test construction. Test means small part of an examination. Experiments on the research. Test construction, experiments on the research. Suppose in your examination you are asked to mention 3 specific areas of education and psychology where there is the use of statistics. Then you are to write for test construction, for experiments, and for research, statistics is used, or we are bound to depend on statistics. And this is a calculation. How, you see, calculation is being made. This is American water revenue during 2009 to 2012, and these are the graphs. It is rising up. This was in 2009, this was in 2010, 2011, and this is 2011. We can, by observing or by looking towards the graph or graphical explanations, we can assess that there is gradual increase of the American water revenue from the time of 2009 since 2012, and this is also being completed or accomplished depending on the statistical data. Let us see the next slide. So that in totality means by summarizing everything else, we can, explain that statistics is used in education and psychology for the reasons as these are the reasons for which we are bound to depend on statistics in the field of education and psychology, and these are very much important. Number one, it helps in understanding the modern literature in these subjects. Modern literature, what are developing in the field of research, we can assess depending on statistics. Most of the books and articles in research journals in these subjects use statistical terminology and present the results in a statistical form which cannot be understood without adequate knowledge of statistics. For understanding research-based knowledge, we must have statistical knowledge, otherwise we never can understand the results, because results are being presented with the help of summarization of the data which are being collected by various researchers. And this is data, then control sources of variation. These are various specifications, experiments, knowledge, understanding, solve problems and make decisions. How we make decisions, how we solve problem, and why we are to depend on statistics. We are to base on data, we are to do experiments, we are to acquire knowledge, we are to understand the problem, and thenceforth we can solve the various problems and we can make decisions. So friends, in the process of solving problems of various types and kinds in the field of education and psychology, at the same time to take scientific decisions, we are bound to depend on statistics. Let us see the next slide. Number 2, statistics is used to measure the achievements, performance levels of the students or the learners in different subjects and skills. These help us in diagnosing backwardness and backwardness, which gives us direction for providing educational and vocational guidance. So friends, vocational guidance, how we can provide in scientific way, and how we can provide educational guidance depending on the statistical data, because by studying or collecting and scrutinizing or analyzing the statistical data, we can know the performance level of various students in different subjects, and we can come to know about the skills which they do have, and thenceforth we can categorize the students as genius, as very intelligent, general student or average student, mediocre student, very dull student, backward students, like this. And knowing about the reasons of backwardness, for helping the students so that they can they can solve their problems of backwardness, we must have to depend on statistical data, and that is why in the field of education and psychology there is the use of statistics. Let us see the next one. Number 3, statistics helps the teachers in finding out the intelligent quotient, not intelligence, this should be intelligent quotient and achievement quotient, and take steps for the development of the psychic potentialities of the learners. Now here is the question: to know about intelligent quotient as well as achievement quotient. In this class, I will not discuss this in detail. In psychology class, I will discuss in later stage. But in the field of education, for the determination of intelligent quotient, or knowing about intelligent quotient, with the help of which we can categorize students in various categories, and knowing about the achievement quotient, we are to depend on statistics. And here this picture, you see a teacher takes a hand, opens a mind, and touches a heart. And for doing so, there is the demand of understanding the methodology of teaching and applying such methodologies in the classroom practices. And for doing so in scientific way, teachers are bound to study statistics, without which they cannot achieve much progress in their field of teaching or in the field of teaching. Let us see the next slide. Number 4, in many psychological investigations, statistical understanding is a must. For example, in the laboratory course, Course results can't be treated and reports can't be written unless the students have statistical knowledge. Means once you go to laboratory, for writing the report, for preparing the report, you are to depend on statistics. Without depending on statistical data, you never can in scientific way as well as systematic way, you can report the result in proper manner, in understandable way, or in brief way, in analytical way. Let us go to the next slide. Number 50 is statistics. It means statistics forms the basis of scientific approach to problems in which deductive inference is commonly used. Students of psychology and education can't afford to remain ignorant of the scientific method of approach to problem solving in their disciplines, and that's why they are bound to depend on statistics, and without having thorough knowledge of statistics, these cannot be accomplished or these cannot be understood in proper way. Let us see the next slide. Number 6, statistics helps the teachers and school administrators in evaluating the performance of students and schools or colleges or universities, colleges and universities. And see this diagram. In feedback is very much important in teaching, and for taking feedback we have to depend on statistics. Input is very much important, comments are very much important, reviews are very much important, for doing which we have to depend on statistics, and success is the final stage. And to go to the final stage, we are bound to depend on statistics or statistical data as well as the interpretation process of the data which we do collect concerning to various areas of performance, academic maybe, and other performances, maybe intelligence quotient, maybe achievement quotient, maybe skills, maybe academic, academic results, whatever it may be. For determination, for calculation, we are bound to depend on statistics so that we can help our students to achieve the target of success, which is not so much easy, where feedback is one of the important aspects, input is another aspect, third one is comments is another aspect, and reviews is the next aspect, and then sports success point we can help to lead our students to that target. Let us see the next one. 7th, we are to see, because this is number 6, and in 7th we will get this one. We can make improvement on methods of teaching with the help of experiments under controlled conditions by using statistics. And this is a classroom situation. In control situation, in action research means in classroom research, in research in action of teaching and learning, we are bound to depend on statistics. And let us see the next point. Number 8, statistics is helpful for maintaining pupils or students' progress records and other records such as income, expenditure, enrollment, choice of class, attendance, and percentage of success, etc. And last one is knowledge of statistics is very essential to keep research interest alive in the field of education, and particularly in the field of higher education, which is one of the basic objectives of the process of higher education throughout the global social order, or in all nations or in all parameters of various nations of the world. So friends, without statistics, leading life is impossible. Without statistics, evaluation is impossible. Without statistics, review is impossible. Without statistics, feedback is impossible. Without statistics, giving input is impossible. Without statistics, giving guidance is impossible. Without statistics, imparting education in a systematic way is impossible. And without statistics in totality, we never can achieve the target of success, because friends, in every day, in day-to-day life, we are bound to evaluate the records or the data, and by analyzing the data we can determine everything else. So friends, these are the most important parameters for knowing about the use of statistics in education and psychology, and I think you will certainly be able to make your ideas very much clear concerning to the use of statistics either in education or in psychology or in the field of applied science or in the field of natural sciences or in the field of social sciences, etc., etc. Thank you so much.